Hey, how are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I want to touch on this attack in Moscow. If I put this one on YouTube, I'll tell you right off, I'm not going to allow comments. I've already watched or I've seen a little bit of several channels what they're saying about it. There's a lot of misleading information out there. And this is one of those things that people are just all going to get all spun around the axle about, and without really understanding, without thinking, and coming up with all sorts of crazy ideas. And I'll be honest, and for you folks who it may be, if I decide to put this on YouTube, who may be watching on YouTube, the reason that I do that is because even though I allow comments on the Patreon channel, and we have a lot of great conversation on the Patreon channel, I don't have the same idiocy. Well, we don't have any idiocy on the Patreon channel, and we just get a lot of it on the YouTube channel. And I'm sure that you're fine, but the person next to you may not be fine, and they will just come off with all off the wall stuff that I just don't have time to come back and police all the comments and boot all of the stupidity off. I know, stupidity, all the stupid things off, and I don't leave ignorant comments up because I don't care about the numbers. I care about people possibly being misled, and I also care about trash in the comments. My channels are channels where people can come and know that they're going to be treated respectfully, and not have people come after them and do all sorts of moronic stuff. So that's just and if you'd like to join us on Patreon, I always put down the link down below on how you can come to Patreon. It's $1 a month, and it's a great community over there. We'd love to have you. The links are also down below on my books and things like that. Okay, the situation and with the Moscow attack on the concert, I'm sure that most of you have probably seen the video of it. There are a couple of things that just leap out, and I don't know exactly what happened or who did it, and neither do you, and none of us will. So why am I making this? Because I want to point out a couple of things. If you watched the video of it, that group of people who were supposedly the gunmen, that was not a professional group. That was not a professional operation bent on the greatest number of casualties. Now I know there's 114 dead. Is that what I hear? Is that what I hear? And many more injured. Did the roof collapse or something? I don't know. Those details I don't get into because they're important to the people, and I don't want to minimize that. But they're not important according to what we're talking about here. So if you watch those, and if you do know anything about this, the people that you see purportedly as the gunmen going through there, those were not professionals. The next thing, and when I just heard this morning that, well, when I first heard that 4 had been arrested, I thought, that doesn't ring right. It doesn't ring true. For a variety of reasons. And if you know, that's a rabbit hole we could go down for a long time. It's not the Russian way. If they say that they've arrested 4, now you have to decide, did they? Who did they arrest? What was the purpose of the arrest? And you're never going to get the answer to that. Okay, that's another thing. I'm going to have a whole lot of things telling you you're never going to know. But that's important to know. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Now, they said that they have, the last I saw, they've arrested 11, including 4 gunmen. So 4 plus 7 accomplices. They haven't identified them as I know yet. The Islamic State has taken credit for it. Put this into your thinking cap. Who created ISIS? Well, let's go back a little bit farther. Who created Osama bin Laden? Okay. Who created the Northern Alliance? If you're not familiar with these, go back and look them up. Now they say that they have caught these people. They caught them before they got close to, I think, the western Russian border with Ukraine. So there was almost, they'd gotten almost to Ukraine. Okay, driving through Russia, right? Now Ukraine's several hundred miles from Moscow, and yet in the current atmosphere of Russia, they're able to get several hundred miles. Ask yourself about that. Okay, I mean, they're caught. Who could have done this? Of course, trying to get to Ukraine would make it look like, Ukrainians did it, right? The Ukrainians did it. The credit taken by ISIS, the type of attack, the terrorist attack on civilians, that immediately brings militant Islam to mind. Okay. So everybody's definitely looking at that, right? Would Russia want the world to think that Ukraine had made this attack? You know, Russia has had its own war with Islam. Remember Chechnya? Would Ukraine losing this war, losing it badly? I don't care what you hear about in the American press or the Western press. They're getting stomped. Okay, they don't have a chance. Never did. Never did. Would they want to provoke a response from Russia, and then as a result bring the whole rest of the world onto their side finally, which the rest of the world has been pulling back from Ukraine? You know, certain truths being seen, finally being recognized. Well, could that possibly be a motive? Could we, the United States, want to provoke a large response from Russia against Ukraine in order to give us the excuse to go in there and finally, well, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We have to. Russia, the big bad bear, has come at Ukraine, poor little Ukraine, our friend, our money laundering, lab, drug center friend. Coming after them, we have to go. We have to step in. So now we've got the war that our leadership, our leadership, has always wanted with Russia. Here's the thing. I don't know. And here's another thing, you don't know. And I know, and I say that because whenever I put one of these up, I will get all sorts of comments of somebody saying, this is why such and such. Okay, that's a non-thinking reply. It's you don't know. You don't know. But what you can know is this. You can know that this is a destabilizing step. And another step, very possibly, and you'll never know who did it, another step toward the war that certain people want, and that it's going to engulf you. It will. It will engulf you. It will engulf your family in just about every way you can think. Go back and look how the world wars engulfed every family. And this will be worse. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Guys, prepare. That's what you know. That's the only thing you know about this. Trust me. Prepare. You know that you should prepare. And that means in every way. And actually, I won't even bother to show my books. If you want to know how to prepare, read my books. They're down below. 6 books explain to you everything you should do to prepare for when the greatest catastrophe you can imagine happens. But do it, because this thing's coming. And like I always say, prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. Well, this may be something for which it may be difficult to be prepared if you are not totally prepared in pretty much every way. And don't let people tell you you can't be totally prepared. You can. The people who will tell you that, I'll go ahead and show them to you. The people who will tell you that are those who don't want to, they don't have the imagination, they don't have the energy, they don't have the oomph, and they don't want to put in the work to be totally prepared. So they'll tell you it can't be done because that excuses their inability to do it. Read this. Read the Stone Mount series. 6 books. I don't have the reversion in front because I had to mail that one off because I ran off, but I'm waiting for the new shipment. The reversion, the revival, the renewal, and appeal to heaven, the blessings of freedom, hostages to fortune, the complete guide on how to prepare for, how to survive, and how to rebuild after a complete collapse of everything. And the links are down below in the show notes or the information section. People occasionally ask me, where do I find them? Come on, guys. They're right down there. Right down. You'll see a few hashtags, and then it'll say more. Hit the more. You'll find them, and you'll learn a lot. So go about your day. You're never going to know the reason for this. Don't listen to those who tell you why it's happening because they don't know either. And get out there and prepare because you're going to be glad you did. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.